this celebration and this joy.
For years now, Osama Hassan has used the mimbar at Leighton Mosque in East London to address subjects some in his congregation would prefer not to discuss.
Many people are terrified of Muslims. They are terrified of a brother walking down the road with his Eastern dress and his hat and his beard, because they think we're all suicide bombers.
This footage was shot by CNN 4 years ago, just weeks after police broke up a local terror cell plotting to blow up airliners.
Believe truly in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the one.
As well as being a religious scholar, Hassan is also a scientist, studying theoretical physics at Cambridge and now a senior lecturer in engineering at Middlesex University. 2.5 years ago, he wrote an article decrying what he called the appalling state of science in the Muslim consciousness. He described the belief that Adam was made from clay, as the Quran suggests, and then made a living human after God breathed life into him, as a children's madrasa-level understanding of the origins of man. The remarks angered some in his community.
People weren't reasoning with me, but rather being very quick to excommunicate me and saying, you're no longer a Muslim, you're an apostate, you're an infidel. They'd been trying to get fatwas from clerics abroad for a while, and they finally succeeded, in December, with this very senior Saudi cleric. There have been one or two other Saudi and Kuwaiti senior clerics who have issued similar fatwas, and a handful of clerics in Pakistan also, all saying that effectively I'm an infidel, I'm a disbeliever, unless I retract those views.
The beginning of life is a miracle.
2 months ago, Hassan called a public meeting at the mosque to try to explain his position on evolution.
When the evolution theory says it's talking about apes, it's talking about millions of years before.
The events were recorded and posted on YouTube.
There were a number of people in the audience videoing the event with their own cameras. I think all of them pretty much against me, and they'd come to record me to kind of incriminate me.
Tempers started to fray when Hassan described Adam as having parents that were nearly human. And later when he said there existed a strong body of evidence suggesting humans descended from apes.
Have we descended from apes?
Yes or no?
That's what evolution theory says.
No.
At one point, Hassan says, somebody in the audience shouted, "Kill him." It required the intervention of Osama Hassan's father, senior imam at the mosque, to appeal for calm.
If you are not satisfied, it is your opinion.
But the meeting was not the end of the matter, far from it. This online leaflet appeared and was later distributed at the mosque, charging Osama Hassan with kuffar, disbelief. And though stopping short of calling for Hassan himself to be killed, quotes a hardline cleric who contends that support for Darwinism equals apostasy, an offence for which he says there is only one sentence: execution. The author of the leaflet, who runs a website called Islamic Awakening, repeats the argument, quoting the same hardliner in an online posting.
If there's absolutely no other way of stopping this person except execution, then this person should be executed because he is an apostate, and apostates are executed. Now, this is the opinion of Ibn Uthaymeen.
Abu Zubair says this discussion of the permissibility of killing apostates is for information purposes and is not a call to kill Osama Hassan. But Hassan, the father of 4 children, says he believes his life is in danger.
I do at the moment, yes. Given the fact that we have many angry young Muslims in this country who have taken the law into their own hands before with terrorist plots and with an attempt to murder an MP, for example, last year. I do feel that somebody young, impressionable, may feel it's their religious duty to kill me. So I've had to take extra precautions at home and with my family, etc.
Police say they are investigating alleged threats against Osama Hassan. When we visited Leighton Mosque, the mosque elders said it was still too sensitive to allow us inside to film. People in this nearby cafe told us they were very troubled at the idea their imam could entertain ideas about evolution. Many said they could not pray behind him. Among the few who were prepared to talk to us on camera, there were mixed views.
The theory of evolution can definitely not work with Islam, as we believe that Allah is kun fayakun, which means that He made Adam alayhi salam with His own hands.
I don't think anyone should jump the gun and start getting upset over someone's opinion, because it's opinions that make the world go forward.
Echoing that position online, voices of tolerance started to come forward.
We've had an amazing response. We have over 1,100 members. In the first 24 hours alone, we had over 800. So there's a huge appetite for the kind of work we're doing on this campaign.
Tamina Kazi was so concerned by the campaign against Osama Hassan that along with a friend she set up a Facebook group.
We wanted to make it very clear that theologians and religious educators should be able to express an opinion on any subject they see fit without threats or intimidation. So we wanted to revitalise the Islamic tradition of open debate and disagreement and the etiquette that comes with that.
Muslim scholars, academics, scientists and others took it in their stride that this is a view, and Dr. Hassan was absolutely in his legitimate right to express that view, and we disagreed with it.
Sheikh Ibrahim Mogra is one of the UK's most prominent Muslim clerics. He deplores the way the practice of takfir, denouncing Muslims as non-Muslims, has taken hold in some elements of British Muslim society.
This is a very serious matter, not to be taken lightly, and we have very stringent rules about this. There have been volumes and volumes that have been written to regulate this kind of behavior. It is not for any Muslim to go about and declare other Muslims as kafir. Really, indeed, judgment is for God.
Just over a week ago, Osama Hassan issued a statement on his website in which he said, "I regret and retract some of my statements in the past about evolution, especially the inflammatory ones. I do not believe that Adam, peace be upon him, had parents."
I've rolled back the debate. I realised some of the things I said in public, I'd gone too far, and also, without meaning to, it become quite inflammatory. What I'd like to point out now at the moment is that the religious scholars pretty much are opposed to evolution. They believe it's blasphemy in general. They believe it's against the Quran, whereas the scientists overwhelmingly, of course, say that evolution is a scientific fact, or it's a scientific theory with overwhelming evidence. And I'd like to point out there is this gulf, there is an impasse at the moment, and at some point people may have to address that issue.
Do you feel you've had to make a compromise?
No, I actually feel that I've learnt about community dynamics and what is wise to say and promote, and what isn't, and what is important for the community and what isn't.
Ibrahim Mogra takes this retraction at face value, but acknowledges its wider importance.
This is a critical issue for us, indeed, because if we fall at this hurdle, then who's next tomorrow? And if we're going to allow ourselves to be intimidated like this and publicly have to retract and say things that we don't actually believe in, then that would be a great disaster for Muslim scholarship and for the freedom that we enjoy in our country to be able to express our views without fear and without intimidation.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And this great day is one of his great blessings.
Despite his retraction on evolution, it will likely be some time before Osama Hassan can again lead the faithful at Leighton Mosque. But he still hopes to return someday soon to pray.
I'm hoping that the situation will have calmed down, and I'll be able to go back soon and join the congregation in prayer again. It is my favourite mosque in London. Yeah.
Andrew Carey, CNN London.